Alright. Hi guys, welcome back to Founder to Founder. Today I have Maria from Kind Boxes with me. We are so excited. You might have seen her in our first issue. She had an ad. And if you're friends with me and have been pregnant within the last year, you probably have received one of her boxes. She is wonderful and we have a really fun activity today. But first, Maria, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful to be part of More Magazine. I love what you're doing. My name is Maria Bergland. I am the mom of 3 boys, and I live in Oregon and founded In Kind Boxes 2 years ago.
So awesome. Um, I could recap what's in the boxes, but do you want to give us a small recap? Because I know you've been adding some things and just doing some really amazing things. Even if you want to touch on the awesome event you just had.
Yeah, so the gift boxes are more like a postpartum box, and it has essentials for both mom and for baby. And we've curated it to be really special, to include natural and organic essentials, because that quality of product is something that we want to pass along to the moms in need that we support, because we believe that everyone deserves quality postpartum care. And yeah, so there's quite a range for mom in there to have some self-care time, as well as for baby, and even some things that will last well into those like later postpartum months and things. And
Yes.
the event today, actually, we did a pop-up baby shower in Portland with 2 of our local nonprofit partners, which was super fun, to be able to do something in person and see the moms and just shower them with the love that they deserve.
Yes. And every box that is purchased also provides a box for a mom in need, right?
Yeah, that's an important part to remember.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
I think that's amazing because I mean, as I shop for like my close friends, I know that I'm also shopping for somebody else's close friend. And
yeah.
so I think it's really cool to be able to like provide that while also like just sharing the love within your community and another community that you don't even know.
Right, exactly. And we donate the gift boxes across the United States. So it's not just Portland because that's where we're based, but we help moms all across the US.
Just so amazing. And then, all right, so I'm gonna start hinting at what we're doing today.
Yeah.
You mentioned the gifts are like long after just the first couple of weeks, which I think is so cool. Maria sent me this super lightweight, beautifully made swaddle,
Mhm.
and it's larger than most regular baby blankets, which I think is so incredibly smart.
Yeah, I wanted it to be multi-purpose, so it's made of organic cotton muslin, and we have it actually in 2 other patterns as well. So triangles, and there's alphabet one, and they're supposed to be kind of like gender neutral, so that you can sort of choose whatever you feel that the recipient would love. And yeah, it can last well into. So, I mean, my boys wear them as capes sometimes, or they pretend to be ghosts, or um, yeah, I find them just really great to have in the diaper bag, and you can use it to swaddle or cover the stroller, or use as a nursing cover. Even this is really great for the summertime when it's really hot. If you feel like you want a little bit of extra privacy, then this is a really great thing to have on hand.
So we'll get into that activity in a little bit. Before we get started, I want to talk about my favorite part of In Kind Boxes is the community that you've created online. I love, love, love every time I see a post of yours and I go to comment, if it's to hype you up or just to like join in the conversation. There's already so many comments of women just saying like, "Thank you for bringing this up," or "I feel the same way." Like, how did that end up happening? Because I feel like when we first connected, the postpartum bit was not as much of a conversation as it is now. So what was that like?
Yeah, so I really felt like it was important, to have a social media presence. That is important, for I think any small business, and especially with COVID and getting the word out there. But also, like, I didn't just want to post pictures of product, and or I mean, it's nice to post pictures about the work that we're doing and sharing that. But I wanted there to be an element of community, like you said, to make people want to actually be part of our page and interact with us, because I feel like a lot of moms want to share their story or pass along advice or, just participate in some way and feel connected to other moms. And so, yeah, I did start sharing more about my postpartum experience and just mentioning things that I know that I would have liked to have asked or like comment on in those postpartum days. And even now, my kids are 9, 7, and 4, and I still feel like some of the stuff that I share is like maybe like a tip or something inspirational that even I need myself that day, and I want to share it with our community.
I love it, and I love how just open you are about it. And I feel like a lot of people that I've been able to connect through with the magazine, it has been really cool because I'm connecting with these women who are just very real. And it's like you're saying, like, man, I am just tired today. And it's like something that not everyone wants to just come forward and say, but when someone does say it, it's like, I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm glad I'm not the only one that is feeling this fatigue.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much to be said about that and how much community there is, like just organically made from taking away this picture perfect side of social media that I feel like Instagram especially quickly turned into when it was first launched. And now it's full of people just like sharing like genuine feelings and like how they actually are.
Yeah, yeah, sharing the messy side of motherhood and like having a sense of humor about all of
Yeah.
it and all of that, like true honest parts. The true honest parts of life are the things that I think really, like, those vulnerable sides are what bring people together, because like you said, they can say like yes or me too or something. It just makes people feel more connected. And this past year has been so hard because people have, year and a half, they've been separated from each other, and they want to feel connected and know that they're not alone, or like your mess looks like my mess, and so then that makes me feel good or whatever. So yeah, it is really fun to me now that Instagram has kind of steered away from being that place. Like, you can find those accounts that are very like community based and loving and supportive and kind to each other. And I feel really lucky and grateful that there are so many people who do want to share and be part of our community on Instagram and elsewhere.
Even people who aren't moms yet either, because I feel like it's been really cool to see the educational side of it and all the different Instagram lives you've been doing and collaboration projects, because I feel like there's so much of like motherhood and postpartum that isn't always talked about, like postpartum depression or the psychosis side. And for me, I'm in my mid 20s, like I'm getting ready to be in that stage where like all of my friends are starting to have kids. And I don't know, after I see some of them go through it, I'm just like, like I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, you're telling me about this stuff that like we've never even had conversations about. And so I feel like because you use your platform to have these harder conversations, but you bring it to light in a way that is like educational and informational, like I feel like for me, it's made me feel less afraid of like, not that I'm like scared to be a mom
Yeah.
or anything, but like, I mean, it's scary to think about like how that impacts you mentally and physically like in the long term and afterwards. I mean, how did you make that decision of like this is something we need to talk about and like bring up?
Well, I think that's really sweet. And I love that you come to our page and want to do that. I know that you are very supportive of our mission, but I hope that people who don't have children yet come to our page and feel like it is a valuable resource for them, because these conversations are really like important, and they're definitely not meant to scare anyone, but it is like a reality of becoming a mom, of going through postpartum, of having a baby. It's just like a lot of changes happen, and to talk about the things that some people feel extremely isolated about, like what you're saying, like the mental health aspect and different parts of it, to have moms on those lives with me and to share that stuff. I mean, I feel really grateful that they want to have those conversations and share those things, because it can be really hard to like say those things out loud, especially in front of like a community of people that may not know them very well. But it's really important, because I think that when you do talk about it, it makes it feel like it's not as scary. You know, you're shining a light on something. And then what I try to also include in those conversations is ways to seek support or seek advice or seek community for what you're going through. Like, you know, NICU moms, when we had Adriana on, she was sharing about what that experience was like. And that is a possibility for people. And it's not to scare you, but to show you that there are so many resources out there for if that does happen to you, that you're not alone. And there are people there who want to love and support you through that.
100%. And I feel like, I don't know if maybe I shouldn't have said scary, but I think there's so much like empowerment through being educated too, and like knowing what resources you have. Because I think we might have talked about this at one point. Like when you go into the doctor as a new mom, like you might, like, I didn't even know what a doula was until
Mhm.
like one friend got a doula and she like shared about it. And I was like, how is this not talked about more? Like,
Right.
I mean, different things like that. So, I mean, do you think that like, how do you think we can provide more education? I mean, do you think it's more from like these social, like online communities? Do you think it needs to happen in the doctor's offices? Like, what do you think that looks like?
That's a great question. I think both. I think that if you're going to go to the doctor, I feel like they should have kind of like a checklist or a pamphlet or something that says like, these are the things that could happen in postpartum. And, you know, you're not going for a checkup until 6 weeks after the baby comes. A lot of things can happen during that time. Here are some resources for you, either locally, or these are the types of things that you might go through that you should research yourself locally, and find those support systems. Like people can get diastasis recti and need like pelvic health therapy, or I mean, there's all kinds of lactation support. So having a list of resources or ideas of resources for you to look up is really useful. But then, yes, also seeking out that community for yourself and try and
Hmm.
prepare. Because I think, like, for people who have never had children and are excited about pregnancy but maybe nervous, like to be in a group of other pregnant people where you can kind of go through that journey together is
Yeah.
really nice. And I also think it's good to talk to someone who's maybe had, or put yourself in a group with people who already have children and can kind of, their perspective from them. I feel like for me, it was really helpful to have friends who had like multiple children and could kind of like give me a bit of perspective. Like they would still listen to me, and offer advice, but it felt comforting for them to tell me like it gets easier. And you
Yeah.
know, instead of everybody being in the same stage of like, okay, now our babies are 3 weeks old, or, you know, like you're all going through it together. And while that's great, it's nice to have someone else to just tell you, like, it's not going to be like this forever and you'll get through.
Yeah. Someone on the other side that sees the light already and they're guiding you to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
No, I think, yeah, that definitely would make me feel better. And I mean, even as someone who's getting ready for that stage, I feel so comforted knowing that there's already this community of women waiting
Yeah.
for me to like join and that I could rely on or lean on or ask. And I think it is really important, kind of what you said about having, not just knowing about it, but like also knowing that there's something you can do or something that you can access. Because I mean, even with the magazine, I feel like I always tell people I curate content intended to educate, inspire, and call to action.
Mhm.
And that call to action can look so different. It can be hearing about a doula for the first time and it prompts you to look it up, or it can be you realizing that there's a community and seeking out that community so you are comforted or like you're able to learn more with other women. So I mean, I think that's a really important aspect and something that as we're educated about the resources that we have, that we kind of have to take that next step and be proactive and
Yeah.
I don't even know, like interacting with them, I guess.
Yeah, you're empowering yourself and you're advocating for your needs. And I think that's so, so important. And speaking up and asking for help, like, I feel like that's a huge barrier for so many moms. And I just like, if there's one thing I could say, like, please ask for help if you need it and don't be afraid to, because there are so many people out there who want to help you. And you don't have to do it alone. Like, it is totally fine to ask for help. So many people need help and want help or want to offer you help, and don't feel like you have to be polite and decline it. Accept it, because that could be someone's love language, that helping you, or by like bringing you a meal or like gifting you something like a gift box. They're offering you something because they want to support you, not because they're passing judgment on you that they don't think you're not capable of, they don't think you're capable of doing it. It's like they want to shower you with love in some way, and that could be it by helping you.
And I think it's something that I don't know if it's like women or people who have been in like that caretaker role, that it's hard sometimes to accept help. And I feel like at this time, I mean, when they say it takes a village, it takes a village. Like, I feel like when you ask any grown adult and you say, like, who was your village? Like, people automatically have like those people to list off, and it's not always blood family. Like, it might be your mom's friends or whoever. And so I think it is so important that, like, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something that you need to worry about pride. It's literally just like your village coming to support you.
Yeah. And I can't tell you the number of times that people have like reached out to me before I started this, but just having kids, and I declined because I felt ashamed, or I felt like I didn't want to put someone else out by accepting the help. And that I really regret that. And I got better with it with each child. And people would just walk in our front door and bring us dinner by the time we got to baby number 3. Like, they just, they understood that, like, I was trying to be polite, but also I got better at saying, yes, please bring me food. And so, and it's just such a relief when you have those people who just want to come and help you and kind of like mother you in their own way. It's just really sweet.
No, I think, yeah, that's awesome. And I'm so glad that you got there to baby number 3, because I feel like baby number 2, I would have been like, somebody bring me something. No,
Yeah.
that's amazing though. But so I'm asking you for help today to teach me how to swaddle. And
Yes.
for my lack of baby dolls, I told Maria, this is my sweet, sweet scarecrow from my abuela, whose birthday would have happened just a few days ago on the 21st. We're recording this in July. I think this is going to launch in the fall, but this will still be appropriate for the fall. But I keep this out year round because it reminds me of her. And I mean, she's definitely part of my village. And she was from Indiana, and she gave it to me when we were living in California, and she took it on the airplane with her. And it was my favorite story to hear how she fought with TSA about not putting this in a bag because she didn't want it to get crushed. So she just carried this little scarecrow all through the airport and sat with it when she was on the plane and brought it to me when I was really little. But it's been one of my favorite things from her. So I'll be swaddling this today. I think you have a baby doll, don't you?
Yeah, I have the baby, but the baby is very small. So in comparison to the scarecrow or a regular size baby. So I'll be doing what I can with it, but yeah, so that'll be fun.
Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started then. And I know we touched on this earlier, but her swaddles are so, so lightweight, which I love, and I feel like makes sense when you're wrapping a tiny human in these.
Yeah, and I mean, you can buy ones, other ones that have like more layers to them if it's the winter time and you want more of that. But I really like this because I just feel like it's more versatile. But that's my opinion. Okay, so what you want to do to swaddle is fold it kind of down to the points together. Yeah. So it's 2 layers, and then you lay it down, and the nape of the baby's neck goes at the top there. So you have the point down facing you.
Okay, got it.
And then you bring one of the corners over, and it kind of comes down over the arm, kind of like to trap it
Oh, okay.
in the in the disclaimer, there's more than one way to swaddle a baby.
Yes.
So you can YouTube whatever option feels like the easiest for you or the easiest to remember. My husband did a lot of like watching videos prior to swaddling babies because he really wanted to just get it down. Well, because like, he wasn't nursing the baby all the time, so he was looking for like ways that he could help. So being like a swaddle master was something that he took a lot of pride in.
That's awesome. I love that he found his like little ninja helper task.
Totally. Yeah, because I think sometimes they can feel a little bit like left out or not as connected because, if you're breastfeeding all the time, then the baby's attached to you and they don't get as much of that. So
yeah,
anyway.
That's really cool to keep your partner involved. I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, we definitely did like try like bottle feeding so that he could also be part of that experience as well. But yeah, okay. So you have it like this, if we can see, and then you want to bring it like across.
The other side?
Yeah, and over.
Does it go around or not yet?
Yeah, it can go around and like under this. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I'm sorry for the way that I'm holding my baby. It's not how I would hold it in real life. It would be lying down on the page table or whatnot. But
yes, disclaimer: this is all just for presentation purposes.
By its throat, that's not recommended. And then, so once that part is like tucked down, like across and over, so like underneath the baby, so the extra material is underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take the other side and wrap it over and then under, so they're kind of like that. And then there's different options for what you can do with this fabric, but some people wrap it up and then tuck. Because the baby is so small, there's like a lot of extra swaddling. You tuck it up and then the tail can go either into the back here or just go like underneath behind.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I gotta say, my scarecrow is pretty skinny too, and I feel like babies are normally a little chunkier.
Yes. And they like, when they're new, they like tuck up like little frog legs. Their knees come up and everything. So they're, yeah.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like on the verge of like fighting baby fever, but also thinking about how expensive they are. But that sounds so cute. A little frog baby.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the womb, they're all like in the fetal position. And so their legs take a lot longer to kind of like relax and get used to being like straight out. So it's cute when they first come out and they're all like curled up on your chest. And
all right. Well, after this, I'm going to go look at all those newborn photos that people post after they have kids. So that will be really good for my baby fever.
Yeah. You did a great job. Your scarecrow looks very cozy.
Looks very snug. I know I started even holding them like this when you were talking. No, that is awesome. And it feels like, again, I'm obsessed with this material because it's just so lightweight and I just love how it moves. It doesn't feel stiff or anything like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. How did swaddling become the thing to do?
I don't know. It's just a thing that's like always on the list of what I think, because, the reason you swaddle the baby is so that it feels like they're in the womb. Okay. So it's very comforting to be tucked in and cozy, and it's just supposed to help them like relax and sleep well.
That makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. What has been your favorite thing about starting In-Kind boxes?
I mean, it's exciting to be able to help moms and give them the gift of this gift box. I just love like being able to give this to people and have them just be like, wow, really? Because it is like really nice stuff that we put in there. And I feel like things that I've seen kind of prior to what I'm doing, maybe I know I haven't seen everything that's available in the world, but like people would do kind of like a donation drive where people bring products and then those products are put into bags or boxes and then given to new moms. And while that's wonderful, the things that were included in those are not, you know, the best of quality sometimes. Even though they're brand new, they're full of fragrance or things that aren't the greatest for new baby skin or even pregnant mom or postpartum mother skin. And so I just feel really proud of the items that we've put in there, and basically just to help moms know that they're not alone in this journey and that we're here to love and support them. So yeah, it's been exciting.
Well, you work with a ton of like other women-owned businesses, don't you, to fill the
Yeah.
boxes, which I think is also so amazing because you're not only supplying other women with these things that you need at a very important time, you're also continuing to support other women by sharing their product and helping elevate them and their missions as well. That is so incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So the woman who makes our sticker, she's a local artist here. So she designed the sticker for us, and so she makes those. And then Kindred Bravely is a women-owned business as well as Earth Mama Organics, and they're also from Oregon, so that's really amazing. And even Mally on Hair, where we get the scrunchies, and right now we have hair masks from Rose and Quartz in the gift boxes. So I really try to work with other women because I feel like, you know, we're stronger together. And if I have the opportunity to work in that way, then I really try.
That's amazing. And I mean, the phrase I've been hearing a lot is community over competition. And I think that that is just so true. And like you said, working together just helps everybody. So that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, to wrap up our interview, I do have one final question. It is the question I ask everybody.
Mhm.
What is something that you do that inspires you?
Oh man. To go outside of my comfort zone. I feel like doing interviews like this was not something that I had like thought about when I first started. I was just like, I'm gonna make these boxes and then give them to moms, and not really thinking like about, you know, putting myself out there and talking to people, I guess, in this way. And so just getting comfortable with like learning new things and growing as someone who is much more introverted. It's been quite a challenge, but it's good for me because then my kids see it, and you know, when they're feeling anxious about things, they know like I've been on TV and I've done these different things and really like push my boundaries. And so it sets that example for them, and then they can do that for themselves.
That is amazing to lead by example. And I mean, to do something that scares you, that is so cool. And I mean, so much of our growth comes when we push ourselves outside of that comfort zone.
Exactly.
So thank you for leading us in this conversation and all that you do and pushing us and encouraging us to do something we might be scared of.
Thank you so much, Ariane. I really appreciate you having me on and sharing about In Kind. I'm just really grateful.
Always. Well, join us next time for our next Founder to Founder. We launch our next interview the third Friday of every month. And make sure you keep up with Maria. Is it at In Kind Boxes on Instagram?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. And we'll see you all next time.
All right.